Good morning, my lovely listeners. I think I have like 100 and something views on my podcast on YouTube, and I was like, I'm so amazing. I was hoping just for 10. And then YouTube has these like options that you can look at how long people have watched your video, and like average length is like 6 minutes. I'm like, oh shit. So really 50 people have watched it. The whole thing. You fucking bitches. You fucking bitches. I'll remember this. I'll remember this forever. When I'm famous, when I'm touring on fucking stages, I'm going to remember that half my audience didn't even listen to my whole fucking podcast. It's all gravy. It's all good. I know how it is. It's 2019. We can't pay attention to shit for longer than fucking 5 minutes, especially if you're rambling like I do. So I have some effects. I was like, let me try these effects here that I didn't even know how to use. But since we're here playing around, I'm going to use them. Stand by. Don't go anywhere. Not like I would know if you did. But, all right, here, I press the effect button. Got that. This is the male effect.
You fucking bitches. Not one of you listened to the whole thing? Huh? That's kind of scary, right?
This is the female. Why the fuck do we sound like a chipmunk? Is this how women sound? We sound like this? You fucking real mother fuckers. Feels weird to swear in this voice. Come over here and I'll fuck all your shit up. No. But we sound like chipmunks and the men sound like
murderers? Okay.
This is called Chopper. Makes me feel a little dizzy. This is the regular one. Back to me. This is Jen recording live from the helicopter. That's what this one sounds like to me. And then this one. You are now listening to Don't Get Offended. Episode 3. How was that? We did all the 5 effects or whatever the fuck it was, and there's expert settings on this mini studio, but if you think I'm figuring that shit out right now, it ain't happening. So today is July 17th. It's my little cousin's birthday today. She's like an adult. Also, yesterday I went to a CPR training, and I meant to do a recert, but I did the whole stupid course all over again. It's not stupid. And I was like, I can't get out of this now. I'm here now with all these people. And if you know how trainings go, you're like, I have the sound on. Jen, get your shit together. Sorry. Those trainings are like hit or miss, but luckily the instructor was awesome. And now the new 2019 version of basic life support training has like evidently Academy Award winning actors in the fucking videos. They're no longer those actors, those beginner fucking actors. They're actual professionals. And it's like, holy cow, they're really good. I said holy cow because I didn't want to say shit, but that just defeats the purpose because I just said shit again. It's a low vibration to swear. Do you know that? Cursing is low energy. Well, I'm down here for a little while because this is how I speak. I'll try. I try not to swear as much. I swear so much, it's sickening. But back to the video. I'm a nurse, so people will be like, can you not swear at the nurse's station? The families can hear you. You're never going to win a Daisy Award if you keep swearing. Fucking people, Don't get offended, dude. I'm just talking. I'm just sprinkling a fuck here and there. You can't handle it? Sometimes it is trashy though. When I hear other people, I'm like, ew, why did she say that? And I'm like, Jen, that's how you talk. That's how you talk. Wake up, learn a lesson. So anyways, back to the CPR training I did. The people acting in the videos made it well worth the 4 hours. It was pretty good. They added opiate addiction and Narcaning patients to the training, which I thought was very needed, except it was only like a 10-second portion of the course. But I was happy it was included in there at all. And there was this one dude in the training, and I wanted to punch him directly in his face numerous times. Because I was like, mansplaining is a fucking thing, people, okay?
Mansplaining is a thing, okay? And it's really fucking annoying.
Annoying to say the least. But it's women can mansplain too, okay? We can mansplain to each other. And that's true. But men love to do it. And it's like, do you really think I don't know that? Really? Do you really think I'm that stupid? So there was an episode. Jen, what do you like? Get off your phone, get off Netflix. There was a part of the training where they were discussing putting adult AED pads on infants, which I'm like, I didn't know you could fucking do that. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for a little while. I did not know you could put an adult pad on a 3-month-old baby. And the trainer was making the argument that, 9 out of 10 times you'll kill the baby with the AED pad, but 10 out of 10 times the baby will die anyways if you don't try everything. And I was like, well, that's an ethical dilemma, because what the fuck? If I'm going to put an AED pad in the baby and I'm going to kill it? Mind you, people, don't get offended. This baby doesn't exist. I mean, right now we're talking about a pretend baby, okay? Calm down. This is an imaginary kid. I'm not having a real scenario. But evidently you could put an adult pad on an infant baby who is just out of the womb 3 months fresh and has some sort of, fall or whatever, or, goes unconscious and you can't you're not reviving them with CPR. You could put an adult pad on the front of the baby or the back of the baby and, shock them if they have a shockable rhythm. But the instructor's like, well, you might kill them. And I was like, well, she's like, but if you don't do anything, they might die anyways. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to can we stop the training? I need to talk about this. Is this something I want to fucking do? I don't know if I want to do this. I'm going to put the adult pad of the AED is going to cover the entire baby. It's going to be like chin to toes. But, yeah, so then this kid's like, well, obviously, if it happens like in a mall or something, you're going to wait for the ambulance to come. You're not going to put the AED on the baby. I go, oh, really? Oh, my God. I was thinking if it happened in a hospital that I would just do it. Like the second the baby fell, I would put an AED on the baby's chest. Are you fucking dumb? Obviously. And he kept like trying to engage in a conversation with me. I'm like, don't talk to me. Don't even look at me. I hate you. I don't know you, but I don't like you. And all I thought was everything he said was so annoying and rude, and like thinking that everybody in the room, I'm like, I want to meet your dad. Your dad must be terrible. You must just really feel bad. He called a kid in the class a big man. All right, big man. And the kid was fucking obviously like 18 years old and probably weighed $110. He was like 5 feet tall. I'm like, Jen, don't say anything, Jen. You don't always have to say anything. You don't have to. You don't always have to defend people. I wanted to fight this guy, but I was like, I'm from Brockton. Just kidding. So, yeah, so that was a little annoying. obviously, if you're at a mall or something, you're going to wait for the ambulance to come. Yeah. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Like, yeah, I fucking know that. And that's not what I'm asking. And mind your business. No one's talking to you with your fucking bejeweled bottom jeans and your fucking size 2.5 cowboy boots. Get out of here. Go somewhere. Out of here. Get out of here. Go. What if I was like, leave, for real, leave, get out of this class. I'll give you $80 to leave. I'll pay you the BLS course to get the fuck out of here. I'll Venmo you. Because you're dumb. And you failed your test anyways. At the end of the class, you failed and had to go back and take it again. Oh, I thought you knew everything. Guess who didn't fail? Guess who didn't? Your girl Jen right here. Fucking Jenny from the block. She didn't fail her BLS. That's because... And I was like, Jen, don't tell. Just keep your mouth shut. You don't have nothing to prove. You've done this training 20,000 times. You've been a nurse for 6 years. Just don't fight with this kid. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So I did not engage. I did have, some sarcastic comments, but I was like, this dude doesn't know shit. If he dropped right now, I would save him with CPR. I'd put pediatric pads on him. Because he was a short guy, too, talking shit to the other kid. Because he was, 4 inches taller? 3 inches taller than him? Leave this kid alone. He's just here trying to learn. You trash bag. Wow, I'm sorry for bringing all this negative energy to you guys, okay? I took it, I absorbed it, and now I'm giving it to you over the radio waves, over the podcast waves. All right, so that was my day yesterday. Did I already say what episode this was? I did 0, I did 1, I did 2. This is episode 3. Yeah, I think I said it. If I didn't, no, I did. I said it with the echo. So what I have been wanting to talk about this. Let me check my notes in my phone because this has been a personal experience for me. I mean, in my life, I've come across it and I know other people have. I just know everybody has, and whether they realize it or not. But I have it on my list of topics under the airplane accident in Alaska. Oh my God, I should tell you that story. But I have it on putting people on pedestals. And I have this on my list. And then I listened to a friend of mine, Eddie, who has given me so much advice in this podcast. Thank you so much, Eddie. You're great. So is many other people, but he's been pretty detail oriented, giving me what I should and shouldn't do and how to do certain things with YouTube. He's great. So I listened to a podcast he was on called Off. Oh my God. Let me look so I can give it a little shout out on episode 3 of my little ass podcast. But I will. Let me scroll and see. Jenny, where is it? Off Book. It's called he was on a podcast called Off Book with Drew Shade, Amber Iman, and Donja R. Love. And I listened to that episode for the first time, and it was so good. He was on the newest episode on that podcast. So if you're a theater person, I guess, or a comedian or an actor or anybody, specifically Black artists, creatives, that podcast was really good. And I'm not a creative theater person at all. And I listened to that whole thing. It was really interesting. And it was funny to be like, these people are like all super artistic and creative. And they're like talking about other creatives in like ways that I was like, I have zero talent. And I'm like, what is going on? Am I unqualified for this, to be listening to this? But it was entertaining nonetheless. So go check it out if you want. So anyways, my point was on that episode, he mentioned someone he looked up to or grew up like admiring and thinking of them a certain way, like putting them on a pedestal, and that person let him down. And I was like, holy shit, this is so weird, because I've wanted to talk about putting people on pedestals. And then I heard that on that podcast and I thought, perfect, I'm talking about it because I feel like that's a sign. As my sister would say, it's a synchronicity. And once you get those in your life, it means that you're on the right path. So follow them. So I'm following it. Okay, I'm following it. Let me adjust in this wooden chair I'm in. Wouldn't it be funny if it broke? It wouldn't be funny, but I mean, It would just be something that happened. Whether it's comedy or not, I don't know. It wouldn't be funny. So putting people on pedestals. And remind me, someone out there, no one's going to remind me. Who the fuck's going to remind me? This isn't live. I was going to say to tell you the story about the airplane crash in Alaska. What wasn't a crash? Well, since I'm just really good at going off on side stories that have nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but maybe one word in what I'm saying reminds me of something else, so I have to go off. So I'm going to go off the road here. We're taking a right turn, and we're getting off on a rest stop. All right. We're hitting a vending machine, and we're using the bathroom. And this is my metaphorical example of going off the topic. Get off the highway and go pee. This is what we're doing. So when I worked in Alaska, when I was a nurse at Matsu Valley Regional Hospital, short for Matanuska-Susutna Valley, Wasilla, Palma, Alaska. Shout out to my Alaska people. I had a patient who was quadriplegic because his friend was flying a puddle jumper, which is like a tiny airplane, over a boat he was fishing on, and his friend hit him in the head with the fucking plane. Hit him with the fucking plane. And the patient fell forward and then backwards on the plane, on the boat. Broke his neck. And had 4 kids at home, married with 4 kids, 32, 33 years old. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Why would you do that? Fly a plane. All right, so this is a public service announcement. Don't hit your friends with a plane, okay? Don't fly your plane over a boat that your friend's standing fishing on. Don't do that. That's not how you treat your friends. So that was really fucked up. Nursing stories. Patients, I should add those to every podcast episode. A nursing story that I have. So, yeah, all right, so now that I've told you that little side story to horrify you and to think about, be like, holy shit, you're welcome. Now back to putting people on pedestals. Because we've all done it. We learn to look up to people from the second we're born. And you have heroes or whatever you look up to and you're like, I want to be that person. I want to be like that person. That person is obviously amazing. Because just because someone's successful, just because they're rich or created a life that you want does not mean they did it in the way that you yourself would do it, or that you in your dignity or your values would align with. So, and not everybody, some people look up to others who do live, who've gotten success through positive means. I'm lost on my vocabulary. I have no words. What am I? So you look up to someone who's like, say you look up to a comedian and you're like, I want to be like him or like her. And then you find out, I don't know, that comedian jerks off in front of women. And then you're like, well, fucking hell. I guess I don't want to be like that comedian. I guess what I imagine success to be from the outside on you is not exactly what success is to you. Yeah, you got rich and you chased your dreams, but you obviously did some sketchy shit while you did it. So that's why putting on people on pedestals is, I don't want to say it's dangerous, because it does help you in your limited understanding of who that person actually is to succeed and to like be motivated or be inspired to do better. So you're like, all right, it got you so far, but then at some point you realize that maybe these people aren't the people you thought that they would be, because we have this idea that if they've achieved this success and it's something I also want to do, then they must be the best people on earth. And no, they're not. And we're not, because that's why we create these imaginary storylines for who these people are. We have no proof, but we just assume if you've succeeded, then you must be a good person. But no, success does not always mean good, people are good. So, yeah, my favorite comedian was Louis C.K., so there goes that. And then just even people in your everyday life that you look up to. And then you get to know them, and you see that they are humans and that they make mistakes too, and that their opinions on things or the way that they view things may not jive with the way you do. They may not be the people that you really want to hang out with. And you're like, wow, I really looked up to you, and you're not exactly who I thought you were. But it doesn't take away the fact that, it doesn't take away whatever you benefited from that, because, humans are complicated beings. So you might have benefited from being inspired by this person. They inspired you to do something, create something on your own that rippled out to other people. And that served its purpose for you. And maybe now you realize that you can be your own fucking inspiration. Put your own self on a damn pedestal. Get on that pedestal. Because you should be. And you should remember that on the other side of that, also, just because I don't want to say that everybody you put on a pedestal is going to let you down. I don't mean that way. I mean that, because that's true, but it's also true that the people you put on a pedestal are only people. They're not superheroes. They're not fucking magic fucking god and goddesses. They're just human beings, and we all have the same flaws. Well, we don't all have the same flaws, but we all have flaws, and we're not perfect, and everything you say can't be picked apart and examined and being like, I guess I can't look up to that person anymore, because that's not true either. You can still look up to someone who maybe made mistakes in their life, and they've learned from them, and they've changed, and they've grown, and they're honest about them. Like, hey, this is how I grew up, and these are the things I learned at the time, and I did what I knew. I did things with what I knew at the time. And now I know different, and now I do different, and now I move different, and my life is different. And that's a good person to look up to. Those are the people you want to be learning from, I guess. Right? You agree? Yeah, you agree. Chipmunk Jen, do you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. I 100% agree, because that's so true.
Should I call that Chipmunk Jen, or should I just call that Kim Kardashian? Kim, do you agree? Kim.
Yes, I definitely agree. I could say that with 100% certainty. Also, buy my skincare products.
Okay, that's enough. So, yeah. Humans are humans, and we make mistakes, and we learn from them. And sometimes people do terrible things and regret them and wish they didn't, and they can't really find a way to explain that to people or apologize in a real way. Like Louis C.K., it'd be great if you could come out and say, because he's listening to this podcast, obviously, and say, I'm a damaged person with layers of complicated issues, and I did really fucked up things, and I am sorry to those women, and I'm sorry to my children, and I'm willing to do better. But he didn't do that. He hasn't done that, because that takes a level of self-awareness. It takes a level of understanding that people are affected by the choices you make. Because we are, whether it's your kids, your cousins, your sisters, your brothers, your fucking friends, your coworkers, you affect people. And you either choose to inspire them or you're not choosing. It's not like you're walking around like, I'm going to be such an inspiration to people today. I'm going to do that. No. But the attitude you bring places affects people. Trust and believe. I've had very negative attitudes in my life, and I've spread it around to people. So if I was someone with influence, or if I was someone that someone was looking up to, maybe that day they'd be like, this bitch, I'm good. I do not look up to her anymore. So it's not always easy to be aware of the things that you're doing. It's just acknowledging them, giving yourself grace, knowing that you make mistakes, knowing that other people make mistakes, and expressing that. And remembering that you can't put everybody, pedestals are for your damn self. That's the bottom line. You see a pedestal, you got someone on it, you know what? Politely have them step down and step up there yourself, because it's for you. And you need to realize that you can do the same things that whoever you're looking up to does. They do get you to a certain place. And then when you realize that, holy shit, we're all people, maybe I need to recheck what I've been thinking about pedestals. When I think of putting someone on a pedestal in my literal mind, I think of like a little stool. Like, how high is a pedestal? Is it like is it like the Olympic gold medal winner pedestal? Is it like 3 feet off the ground? Could I box jump on it? Could I jump up to that pedestal? If I'm 5'1"? Someone tell me? Nobody knows? Okay. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to touch on today. And I know you can agree with this. I know you can understand what it's like to look up to someone and have them let you down. It can be like painful. Like Eddie said, it could be like altering, life altering. You hit a road, a block in your life, or you hit a cross path in your life, and you're like, well, there goes that. I guess, the idea, I guess I've let this person influence me too much, to the point where I feel like really, upset about who they are. And you think that person's walking around even thinking of that? They're not. I mean, some people take the responsibility and they understand that they're in a position where other people might be looking up to them, and they're like, listen, I'm just a human. And if they're worth anything, they'll say, listen, I'm just a person. And if you've looked up to me, I'm going to disappoint you 100%. So just be cognizant of that. Okay. Just be aware that that's going to happen. And that's a person I can look up to. All right. You're going to fuck up. Go ahead. Just don't jerk off in front of people or rape women or anything like that. That'd be great if you could just not do that. I mean, I know it's a tough ask, but if you could just back up and not do that, that'd be great. So nothing. That's what I wanted to jump on the airways and say, and I've said it, and I've said my piece, and I've told a side story, and and that's that, I guess. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, you can DM me on my Instagram. You can comment me on my Facebook. You can comment the YouTube video, podcast, whatever the fuck this is. Or you can email me at didyougetoffended@gmail.com. Did you get offended? We're all people here, people. We're all learning and living. So I'm going to offend you. And you're maybe going to offend me too. So keep pushing. Keep doing you. Keep learning, growing, evolving, changing, loving, living, yada, yada, yada. And so on and so forth.
Etc., etc.
Keep growing. Thanks again for listening. Thank you for the positive feedback from all, 20 of the people that messaged me. And I hope to continue to talk all the shit and entertain you guys. Just don't put me on a pedestal, okay? Because I will fall the fuck off, okay? We're all human. Love to all of you. Thanks so much for listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Pretty soon we'll have guests on. Me, myself, and I. Me and the voice effects. Someone will come on here. Don't Get Offended, episode 3. Much love to all of you. Until next time, goodbye. Had to hit that clap. Had to hit that applause. Goodbye, people. Good night.